Welcome back. Have you ever heard of these Dr. Joe Dispenza events? These are beautiful events where a lot of like-minded people gather to have a good time, but also to meditate and to ground themselves. And the goal is to slow down the brainwaves. And they observe that with all kinds of equipment. And when you slow down the brainwaves, you get into a meditative state. And overall, the entire experience is just very nourishing for the soul. A very beautiful moment that you can have in your life. Over the course of a few years, I have spoken to countless people with chronic fatigue syndrome and other chronic diseases. And those who are living in the United States and Canada often visited a Dr. Joe Dispenza event. And then they mentioned it was amazing, but afterwards I got sick. So why do you think that is? Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? Very often when people have a good moment in their lives or when they finally reach financial safety, a beautiful relationship, or maybe the end of a very stressful relationship or the end of a stressful job, the completion of a very stressful study, they enter a really beautiful moment. A moment that probably is very similar to a Dr. Joe Dispenza event. And then after that they get sick. And then they mentioned to me that I'm actually not supposed to get sick right now. Because finally I was in a good phase in life. So I don't understand that. And a lot of people, also people without a chronic disease, mentioned that after such an event they have a viral infection. So why? I started diving into this phenomenon in 2018 and 2019. And after a certain point, I started congratulating people who were having a viral infection. I was like, wow, congratulations. Of course, people were like, what is this guy? And then in the Corona crisis, I could not say something like that because everybody was really afraid of these kind of things. But what if it is actually a good thing? So what we see that after these beautiful moments in your life, you get out of the survival mode. And Dr. Joe Dispenza mentions that the average person in the Western society spends 80% of its time in the fight or flight mechanism of the nervous system. And then they shift into the rest and digest mode, or the parasympathetic mode of the nervous system. A beautiful moment, and then after that, they get sick. And I believe that that is a very good thing. So that means that when you're in stress, when you're in survival mode, you sort of repress the immune system because a lot of other things are much more important than your immune system and those kind of things. So it's like clear thinking. A lot of people tend to overthink. Muscle strength, a narrow point of view, and like a narrow focus, and just keep going, fighting for your survival. So then when you relax, the body can catch up and it's time to clean the body. And a good fever or a good viral infection would really do that. A high fever and a cleaning process, getting all kinds of pathogens out of your body, but also emotions. Because when we're in survival mode, we don't have the time to process our emotions. And as a consequence, we store them in the body. But a viral infection, or maybe another chronic disease or something like that, they sort of get stirred up because your body wants them to leave your body because they no longer match your current state of bliss. Therefore, your body is going to purge them. Unfortunately, when you're having a chronic disease, the brain is perceiving these emotions as a danger, and it creates symptoms to protect you. And if you then project old emotions and old feelings that you have stored in your body that you're not aware of that you're having on these symptoms, you can get in a very downward spiral easily. But what if it is actually a good thing? What if it is helping you? But sometimes people get stuck in this phase. So they had this beautiful moment, this moment of safety, this moment of relaxation. Like some people get sick on a holiday, for example. Then after that, they get sick. And usually people recover. But with a chronic disease, you don't. So then you would say, like, actually, that was not really good for me. But in fact, it was. Because now you're in a new phase of your life, a phase where you need to let go of a lot of stressors. And then all you need to do is to teach your brain that these stressors are okay and that you would like to feel them, because a lot of emotions, of all the emotions, they disappear when you feel them through. And then the brain no longer needs to create symptoms to protect you against it. And then you're getting into the flow, like everything purging out. This can take a while. This can take a year maybe, or maybe 2 years. But what matters most is that you just keep on going. Trust the process, trust the release process. And then by the end of it, your new state of being is going to match that beautiful state of bliss, of slow brain waves, of meditation, relaxation. And that's a very good thing. So sometimes people, when they're having a chronic disease and they don't want to experience symptoms and they are aware that their stress levels is not really helping that, they meditate. But if you get yourself again in a good phase, in a good state of being, then know that something wants to come up after that. Something that no longer matches your state of vibration. So that's a short summary why I think that a lot of people get sick after beautiful moments in life, and especially after these Dr. Joe Dispenza events. And if you're watching Dr. Joe, thank you very much. Have a beautiful day. Bye.